Hi, did you know there are around 80 million motorbikes and scooters in Vietnam? That's roughly 4 per household. And if you want to join in with everyone and get on a bike, this could be the best entry-level bike for you. This is a fully automatic Honda Vision. It's our most popular automatic bike for several reasons. Let's take a walk around the bike and show you the main things that you need to know. Now, if we take a look at the left handlebar here, you've got a grip and then you've got a brake here. This is the rear brake. And on the right hand side, there's a grip, which is also the accelerator. So when you twist that, she goes. And you've got the front brake here as well. It's just like a bicycle with the front and rear brakes. One important design feature that you might not know about is when you apply the rear brake, the bike is connected to the front brake as well, and it will slightly apply a little bit of pressure on the front brake. So you'll get dual braking, which is a little bit helpful for people that are not that experienced with braking on these motorbikes. Now, if we run through all the controls that are at your fingertips, over here, we've got the ignition starter here. That's on your thumb there. You, just like the Honda Wave, you've got the lights, dim, and then full lights on. And you've also got this idling and idling stop. We'll talk more about that in a moment. On the left-hand side, you've got your indicators, left and right. Then above that, you've got your horn. And above that again, you've got high beam and low beam for your main headlight. So that's all the controls that you've got at your fingertips. Now, the idling stop here is an efficiency feature. And if you've got it set like this to idling, then when you stop at the traffic lights, the bike will continue to idle. If you click down like this and the green light is on, then that means when you stop at the lights, the engine will stop idling, but you don't need to restart the bike. You just twist the gas a little and the bike will then drive straight away. Now, if we look at the information dash on the dashboard at the front here, you can see you've got your classic speedometer and then your odometer telling you your distance traveled. You've got your fuel gauge there. And you've also got the indicator switch there. You can see this light here showing the engine. That just shows that the fuel injectors are preparing to be started. And this light in the middle here is a warning light, which I can't make turn on because that only comes on if there's an issue with the engine and with the oil. And this bike obviously has no issues there. Now, starting the Honda Vision is very, very simple. All you need to do is turn the ignition on, wait for the injectors to warm up a second. It only takes maybe 1 second. And then you press the ignition button there to start. You don't need any gas. Now, there are 2 safety features on these bikes. And if you just press the ignition, then she won't start. And she won't start if the kickstand is down, so you've got to make sure that that's up, and then she won't start unless the rear brake is slightly applied. These safety features mean that you don't drive away with the kickstand down, which makes left turns very difficult or impossible. And it also means that you don't start the bike and then rev the gas, whiskey throttle, and drive off into the bushes. Now, if we look at fueling and storage on this bike, you've got more storage under the seat than the semi-automatics, and the fuel also goes under there. To open the seat, what you need to do is just turn the key on 1 movement round and then press this switch. That will open the lock at the back here and give you access to this large storage area. You can get a small helmet in there. And then, of course, you've got your fuel cap. Oh, and quite a lot of fuel in there. She's full. We always hand out our bikes full of fuel, the long-term expat rentals. And make sure that when you close the seat, you do it properly. Otherwise, when you're driving, it will flap around. So just a little pressure and a click, and now she's firmly closed. These bikes are very often chosen by new riders, and the simple reason for that is that there aren't any gears for you to worry about, and you don't have to change the gears. It's all just on the throttle there. You just twist and go. That allows you a little more cognitive space to be able to look at the road, assess the conditions, and worry about being in the traffic. Here in Vietnam, there's a lot of traffic, it's mayhem, and so people appreciate that. However, as a new rider, you've got to be careful because these bikes are quite powerful, and you have to be very light on the gas because you can very easily apply too much gas, get out of control, and then you'll have a real issue. So if you're ever worried or nervous, I always tell people to open their hand, and then that will release the gas, the speed will slow down, and things should get better. So don't grip on the handlebars. And I know it's the initial thing, it's a natural reaction, but you've got to train yourself to not grip onto the handlebar and then turn the gas, because that's a recipe for disaster. If you start off slowly and you progress, you practice in an open space and you're very gentle with the gas, very quickly you will get a feel for how much is enough or too much, and you'll be quite comfortable on these bikes. They're not that difficult to learn, but you just need to be a little careful when you start off. So when you're parking the Honda Vision, usually you're going to be on the kickstand down here. It's called the kickstand because you kick it and then you can just put it down and rest her down like that. But as you'll see, the bike's leaning over slightly, so she'll take up a bit more space. Also won't be as stable as if you use the center stand here. Now, to use the center stand, you bring her upright, vertical, and you put your weight on this center stand on the footrest there, and you just push your weight down on there, and the leverage will bring the bike up and she'll sit upright, she'll be straight. Also a good idea to kick the kickstand up so that you don't kick it as you're walking past, but much more stable and takes up less space. Really good if you're parking in an apartment or something like this. The Honda Vision is slightly more expensive in terms of rental and in economy or fuel use, but some people prefer to pay that because they find it's more simpler, easier to drive, a lot less hassle. One other advantage of this kind of bike is this flat area here, which is really good for putting some shopping, if you've got a dog, this kind of thing. So it's also one of the main reasons why people choose one of these bikes. Overall, this is a really good, handy bike for getting around town. Now remember, if you like the content, give us a thumbs up and also subscribe so that you see more of our videos. And also, if you can share or tell your friends about our videos and spread the channel, then that'll be great for us as well. Drive safely.